Hey there, YouTube. It's another edition of Walking Thoughts. I don't know what today is. May something. End of the month something. Basically, today I want to talk about full spectrum cameras. Because a couple of weeks ago when I was at Pennhurst Asylum for their Paracon, I was standing off to the side of the big tent where they had the speakers, and there was a group of people up there, and one of them was talking about equipment, and they made a comment which kind of bothered me because it was incorrect. Basically, people were asking about cameras, and he said, the person that was talking on the panel said that, well, you have night shot cameras which can see in the infrared, and that lets you see all the infrared spectrum and this and that, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, because I don't have exact quotes, but then he went on to say you can also use full spectrum cameras which open up a couple more spectrum for you to see. And I thought that was kind of funny because full spectrum and night shot, basically when you use a video camera and you turn night shot on, what it does is remove the IR cut filter that's inside. And it's just a filter, and it cuts down on the infrared that makes it to the sensor, because your camera's sensor in video cameras and still cameras and your phone cameras are very sensitive to the infrared spectrum. So it sees a lot more. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. There's actually a video that I did on that I'll probably link down in the comments here eventually when I get back to the office. I'll link it. But it goes into full spectrum cameras and the wavelengths and all that stuff. But basically that's what it does. It removes the cut filter, the IR cut filter, and it allows you to see more into the infrared spectrum visibly, not when it comes down to heat, but it lets you see the wavelengths that will still translate into light. And it also lets you see into the UV, ultraviolet range. It already does, both when you're using like phone cameras or video cameras or SLR or still cameras that are digital, they still see infrared and UV light. It's just not as much. So when people say they're giving you full spectrum cameras, that is a deceptive term, because it's not seeing the full spectrum. It's not seeing radio frequencies, AM, FM. It's not seeing gamma. It's not seeing X-rays. It is seeing a very small sliver of the spectrum that includes visible light, infrared, and UV, which is very small. If you look on the entire scale of the electromagnetic spectrum, you'll see that what the camera sees is very small, and it is most definitely not full spectrum. That is a deceptive frickin' term. And basically when it comes down to it, when you make a full spectrum camera, because there was two different versions. There was a converted camera, which they would take the IR cut filter out. The people that are selling these, they would take that cut filter out and replace it with a visible light filter, which was usually like a piece of negative film, a film negative that was cut in the same shape and size as the original IR cut filter, and they would replace it, and that would block most of the visible light, allowing infrared and UV to come through. But then full spectrum is just taking the IR cut filter out completely, which means that, yeah, you're getting visible light, but you're also getting more of the infrared spectrum. Does it sound familiar? So converting to a full spectrum, put those in air quotes here, and then using night shot, same fucking thing. We were already using quote unquote full spectrum cameras when night shot came out. Anyway, the difference was that usually shot in black and white, or you got that weird green color for the night shot. And it depends on your settings what the final image will look like. Some have a purple haze, some have like a violet, purple / more red haze to it, depending on the settings, the normal settings. And settings is also another thing. Before I move on to that, sorry, it's getting windy. Before I move on to that, just to go back to the original comment which inspired this, you are, when you use full spectrum cameras, again, misleading, or night shot, you're seeing into infrared and UV. You're already seeing it. You can see a little bit more by removing the cut filter. Yeah. But using night shot and then using a full spectrum does not give you anything more. You're not getting additional spectrums to view because you're using a night shot instead of or in addition to a night shot camera. Wait, did I say that right? I'm not sure. What I meant to say is that you're not getting additional spectrums using a full spectrum camera in addition to using a night shot camera. So that is completely false. And it's just a testament to some of these people that we look up to on TV just don't know what they're talking about. And it's a shame because they're idolized and they're looked up to by a lot of people. And I get it, sometimes it's worth it, you know, sometimes they do some good work. Not the people I'm talking about, but I guess it bothers me because bad information is being put out there, presented to an audience, and there was like an audience of easily 1,000 people watching this and soaking up this information. That was incorrect. That was just flat out wrong, and it misleads people. It misguides people into thinking, oh, well, I can see more with this camera than with this camera, and I'm seeing all these other spectrums, and you're not. And that's what bothers me. It's just bad science or bad information being promoted. So, I mean, look it up. I did do a video on it, and I forget if I did it for CFI before I started working for them or if I did it on my own channel. So, again, in the description, I will link, as soon as I get back, I'll link that video so you guys can see it. And it breaks down full spectrum cameras and exactly what they're seeing and what they're not seeing. So just be mindful that just because a celebrity says it doesn't mean it's true. Fact check it. Ask questions. Look it up. We all have this thing called a smartphone. If you're watching me, you're probably watching on a smartphone or a tablet or a laptop or a PC. Google this shit. You know, if somebody gives you information about equipment, especially when it comes to ghost hunting equipment, look that shit up. Make sure that what they're saying is true. Look it up. See how the devices are supposed to work. See what components are in there. See if they list specifications and what it takes to trigger an alarm or something like that. Look it up. If those specs aren't there, don't buy it. Don't buy full spectrum cameras either. It's not worth it. There's absolutely no data to suggest that they will see a ghost better than you just looking around. I mean, think about all the stories. Most of the experiences people relate, they see them. They're not seeing them with their camera. They're not seeing them with a video camera. They're going about their business in the day and they look up and claim to see a ghost that disappears or something like that. We're not seeing all that shit. So right now you don't need all that. I don't know if there was another point that I was trying to make. I don't know. It's kind of like, you know, these walking thoughts are just, you know, from the hip. I don't think about it. I don't write notes. It just bothered me that this information was being put out. And the person that did it, I'm not going to name names because, I mean, most of those conferences like that are meant for entertainment. You know, they're meant for people to see their celebrities and get autographs, because really that's what they get in line for hours and hours for. But they don't go there to learn. I mean, you're not getting solid information. I stood there for each panel discussion, and it was mostly stories. I mean, people were allowed to ask questions because it was mostly Q&A, and it was like, what's your scariest place? What's your favorite place to visit? You know, what piece of equipment do you recommend? This and that. And unfortunately, when it got close to a question that could impart some really good information, the information was bad. And just nobody learned anything. And that's depressing to me. I mean, I understand people wanting to see their celebrities, but like, I want to learn something. You go to a conference and you have people that are speaking. Like, speak about something that is going to teach me something good, something useful. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to go eat some lunch, get back to work, and hope you guys enjoy the day. And remember, never stop learning. Bye.